I've realized, like, the reason why I have such distrust with um, um, such distrust with um, like this, just hospitals in general, and when they mix in mental health and physical health, I don't trust. I certainly don't trust psychiatric wards, and that was what would have happened last time if I didn't have anywhere to go. If it wasn't for my wife saying you can come with me, and it's I suppose this time as well, I'm staying with her. I just get this absolute paranoia that they're like gonna like take my phone. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what would be the interest in them. They're like, what would be the point? Like, I don't really understand. Like, normally, like, I had to fight to go. I guess just overthinking it. I must be just paranoia, because I had to fight to go into the psychiatric ward before, but I'm just worried what they've witnessed when I did that. I tried to enter into that meditation, and it basically turned into what they would appear to be a psychosis, but I know exactly what it was. I know that it was some sort of spiritual thing that basically the brain wasn't quite ready for, because I basically started saying, you're the best person in the world, you're the best person in the world, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I was going and they were like, oh, I've never had so many confidence. And I was like, really nice to everyone. And then I think they called a police officer, and I said to him, you're the best person in the world. And I was just like, I guess they knew, they considered it psychosis, but to me, it's a beautiful thing to look back on, because I had turned fear of dying into love for everyone. And it just felt so beautiful. And maybe I'm in a state where, maybe this is somewhat like, you know, um, they would say it's delusional or whatever, but it happened during a meditation. It happened during a meditation. They may not see and understand meditation. They just may want to, because this is the problem, mental health, like they only focus on the brain. They don't think, well, maybe there's something more. Maybe people need a spiritual practice. Maybe there is something called the mind that affects the brain. Maybe there's only so long you can keep trying to tweak the brain, and you can't tweak it forever, because the mind will fight back. It's not what the mind needs. It's just endless medication. The mind needs a spiritual practice. This is the importance. This is the importance of meditation. But I mean, they moved me to short stay, for fuck's sake. They moved me to short stay. But now, because I've said to them, no, I have to stay in the side room. But no, but they said you're coming as an outpatient, so I know I'm definitely leaving here. I just hope they're not putting me into a fucking thing. But they said, how's your mental health? And I just said anxious or whatever. I'm not acting out, and I'm no threat to anyone. I'm no threat to myself, I'm no threat to anyone else. So I can't see why it should be an issue. Just got to keep myself together till the echocardiogram. It's not long. Just got to keep pushing through. That's all. You know, the problem is they've got to understand that I've literally just come off fluoxetine, like, with no taper, just come off it straight away. You know, of course I'm going to react. I was already in a state to begin with, and now I've just suddenly come off a medication. But the truth is that I think fluoxetine is fucking dangerous anyway. I think it can trigger, probably is a risk of triggering psychosis, and it probably is a risk of causing low sodium levels. And in my case, to a certain degree, it's done both. You know, because I think there's something going on with the mind that needs to be a certain way, a certain spiritual practice, a certain way of living, a way of being, a way of talking, a way of walking, a way of just being just that kind of person, you know, that kind of, doesn't mean necessarily being enlightened, but it means going in that direction as much as possible. You know, like Thich Nhat Hanh, like Yuta Damu, like Ajahn Sona, like Ajahn, I can never pronounce the name, Pundanamu, like even Pema Chodron, and just thinking of the other women that do. I'm trying to think of women. I know there's less, but there's is it Pollyanna? I don't know. Is it one of the bhikkhuni that's in the videos with Yuta Damu, the early videos? You know, she has a lot of wisdom as well. She was the one who said in one of her videos, you know, it's important to forgive your parents, and I really believe in that. That's why I've often been conflicted between, I guess, the Buddhist view, the therapist view. The Buddhist view is the traditional view, which is, you know, always look after your parents, forgive your parents. Parents are done a lot, and they have on a spiritual level 100%. And then therapist comes from the psychological element, where their sort of career depends on people maintaining anger with their parents. That's how I realize that's how it's maintained. That's how people continue to pay for therapy. It's pretty much because it's something that they're caught in a loop. The more they talk about how much, let's say, they hate their parents, the more they're reliving that rage, and the more they're just building a habit of rage that builds and builds and builds to the point where it creates huge arguments. And the therapist sometimes sees, oh, they're doing their job because this person's breaking away. They may be breaking away, but like, there's a right way to break away. You know, you can break away in a respectful, calm way, you know, in a gentle way. That's a better way of doing it. But sometimes that's a difficult way of doing it. But I think if there's a solid meditation practice, I don't know, I'm just, it's complicated. I'm just kind of think that starting to feel that therapy just may do more harm than good overall. You know, it gives you insight into why you feel the way you feel about certain things, like the triggers. But then what I've realized is when I meditate, those insights tend to come anyway. In fact, I get more of them than I used to get in therapy now. When I sit and meditate and I'm mindful of my thoughts, I'm like, oh, that happened, and that image now came to me, and that's why that has affected me, you know. Oh dear. I'm just gonna watch stuff and relax.